Hey, what's going on? What's going on? So I want to talk about the shooter over there in Kentucky, the one that tried to murder the candidate that's running for mayor, tried to murder Craig Greenberg. Um, Talking about Quintez Brown. So he was a prominent, activist over there in Louisville. He had been on the news previous times. Had been on the news previous times. Probably 3 years prior, 3 years ago. There's videos him sitting with Joy Reid of all people. But yeah, him sitting with Joy Reid discussing gun control, which I'm totally against, and it's crazy how it turned out because he's fighting for it. It ends up perpetuating the same stuff that he's speaking out against. But not only that, and then probably about 7 months ago, he went missing. And so he was getting some attention in his city. Guess he was having, a lot of mental issues. A lot of mental issues, having mental health problems, and who knows what's going on in the guy's mind. Uh, I don't know, and all of this is alleged. All of this is alleged, but I don't know what would go through his mind. What was running through his mind that made him, choose this particular candidate and what he had going on. They say he's been labeled as a BLM, part of BLM. Which I think this whole thing, how they try to label that stuff is, it's they try to when they do this, they try to paint it and smear the whole entire group. Now, I don't like BLM at all. There's enough to smear them about. But when you have people who act on their own accord and do, go rogue, you're always going to have stuff like that in any type of group. In any type of group. Especially in activists, people trying to, inspire revolution. A lot of times, you can't control every single person. So, yeah, I mean, you can label them as that, but it's just how the public perception and how they receive it. People need to understand that you can't charge the whole group in something like that because not everybody goes with that. And I say that because when you have militia groups of people who really understand, and not all militia groups. There's a lot of dumbass militia groups running around this country, but for the few who would really understand freedom and understand how to move, you may have somebody who just may decide to go rogue, and what these tactics that the government and these elitists, and that they use is they'll use it to. Uh, They'll use it to basically take down the whole organization. So it's something that you got to watch out for. This dude's acting on his own. Like I said, it's something seemed like he was prominent in his community. Somebody he was described as extremely intelligent by his college professors or whatnot. Uh, that dude was, talking about, Pan Africanism and socialism. A lot of they put a lot of black activists. They able to brainwash them into, following under the Marx and Karl Marx and Engels under their ideology. Because you need people who have been taught suffering. people who their descendants or whatnot, or not descendants, but their descendants of people who have been marginalized, who have been oppressed in the country, right? And you still have stuff that goes on today, but a lot of that trickles down. The residual effects are from the past, right? But you got to understand the tactics that are used here. Understand that you always got to question the information. We're told to the white folks are the bad guys and stuff like that, but this information is being filtered from white people. And yeah, a lot of white folks, you look around the world, they tearing this shit up. The ones with the money, they tearing up the whole entire world and been doing it throughout history. That's just a fact. I call it like I see it. Faces behind it are white guys. And it's not to, put nothing on, it ain't got nothing to do with your white neighbor. And like I say in every single video, I hate using the terms black, white, all of this stuff. It's classifications. It's societal classifications that have deeper meaning than what people even realize. But I'm just speaking in layman's terms, right? But these people got tactics, man. They got tactics. So when you take a look at this, man, this is, I mean, of course, going off the name, you can guess that Quintez Brown, and the picture is going to be, when I make the video, the picture will be on the screen. But this is a black man. Now, when it initially happened, people thought it'd be a white guy, which a lot of times those mass shootings and stuff like that, they're usually white guys. That's what I say about those mass shootings. Hell, and I'm being funny, but I'm being real too. We all know it's less likely for a majority of the mass shootings that happen here in the U.S. are black, right? But I know I can go into an IHOP, and if something goes down, at least you'll get a warning when it's somebody black, right? Because it'll be over a situation. Somebody got mad about some shit. You at a club and the motherfucker, some type of dispute or fight, or motherfucker got put out of the club. You got a warning. Once that happens, you get told or get removed from an establishment, to get the hell up out of there. This is for the most part. It's not the saying it's just, this just clear cut all the time. But this is how it goes. It's some type of dispute. But for the most part, black people ain't just walking in spots and just shooting up everybody in the damn place. They got a target that they're looking for. Now, if they hit a few people in the meantime, I mean, that's what happens. Spraying randomly or, all over the damn place and hitting innocent people. But a white guy coming in and just randomly out of nowhere because you don't know what the hell set him off. That's the shit that you got to watch out for. Coming in with trench coats and bags and stuff like that. I'm watching. I'm watching every single time, man. Got my eyes on, especially motherfucker with a trench coat, motherfucker with a big old bag or something. And half the time I ain't even staying in the place. I know this sounds fucked up, but I keep it real. I can keep it real. The dude sat up in IHOP, man. Dude's kind of weird. White dude was kind of weird, man. And in the booth, kind of near us, man. Dude had a big old bag on him and talking to himself. Me and my lady got the hell up out of there. I ain't about to sit around be waiting on this. You know how this shit goes. Anything can set them off. They had a bad day. Just been having a bad life. And like I said, mental health ain't funny. Ain't nothing funny about it. People go through all type of stuff, and people just get tired. But hurting innocent people can never be condoned. Can never be hurting anybody. Violence ain't the answer. You defend yourself. But, back to the story. A lot of people thought that this would be a white man. Turned out to be a black dude. And what's funny about this, because I saw a little small story about it, but a couple days ago. But when I've, actually looked into it, and see what was going on, I'm like, it's interesting. It's interesting because imagine if this was a white man, and I don't want to sit up there all the victimhood. I don't want to see nobody playing the victim. I don't want to see people rise above and figure out solutions to shit. I don't want to see black people playing the victim. I don't want to see white people playing no victim. This ain't to contribute to none of that stuff that they're trying to do on media and trying to have the white victims and all of that stuff. I'm just showing you the tactics that are used and the manipulation. And maybe I could be wrong. But it's funny, funny out loud. This was a white dude. This would be plastered all over media. They'd be talking about it on those insane women on The View and talking about it on, Good Morning America, CNN, MSNBC. And there have been little small stories that they've had on their site, but I'm talking about actual coverage of it. I'd like to believe, like I said, I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it would be. It seems like every time it's a black guy, they just sweep it under a rug because it doesn't fit the narrative that they want to paint as, crazy racist Trump supporting white man, and the terrorist, and they're shooting up. It doesn't play into the narrative that they want. So I could be wrong. That is something that I consistently notice. And keep in mind that these stations are owned by white folks. Now, you can call them Jews, just like, Craig Greenberg is. You can call them that, but, they're white folks. Jewish is a religion. They're white people. You got to understand the game, man. They try to manipulate you and turn you against, a certain, turn you against them. They want to keep the war, the back and forth going on, keep the country divided. Yeah, there's a lot of problems. Yeah, there's racism. Yeah, there's stuff there's ignorant people, a lot of ignorant people running around this country. But the news media just amplifies that. So they can step in and take advantage, and they can always keep the establishment, the corporations, the corporate guys, the governments, and all of that. They can keep it in power. They can always stay in power as long as everybody is distracted with each other, distracted with the bullshit. And so this is why they don't show certain things. They don't show, they don't put any emphasis on when anybody else really gets killed by the police. Now, black people have been getting it bad in this country, probably get it the worst. And like I've always say, they don't even show all of the killings of, all the black people that get done wrong, but they like to pinpoint and target certain stories, something that can usually fit they like to pinpoint certain stories that they can do something with. And they can craft a narrative out of it. Not add any nuance to what's going on. Think about with George Floyd. Now that was horrible what happened. But, the first thing everybody went to was racist. Not understanding, that takes, like I always said, it takes a lot to even arrive to that. He could have been, but get some proof that the guy, what was his name, Chauvin, get some proof that he was racist first. Because this could have been a dispute about anything, or it could have just been, being drunk on power. Being drunk on power. They don't even bring up the fact that, you know what, man? I ain't even gonna go there, man. Not even gonna go there. I was about to bring up something else, but just look out for the tricks, man. Now, this, like I said, this doesn't fall all on BLM or nothing that they do. Sky acted on his own. He has some stuff that's going on in his head, and uh, I'm glad nobody got hurt. I think this, he's got to pay the price for what he's done, but hopefully it's something that he can rise above. I always hope that everybody can rise above their mental issues and get some help, get some counseling. And right, like I said, who knows? He probably won't, because the mayor didn't die, he probably won't be in prison forever. He probably get a little time, but get out eventually. Hopefully he rehabilitates. And hopefully he sees how this world really is. Understand the game that's being played. When it comes to, these movements, these revolutionary movements, I'm going to keep reiterating this. Never attack first. Never shoot first. If you see stuff that's going on, unless you getting a threat of an attack, they just openly saying, "Hey, we're gonna come and kill you" or anything like that. But dealing with politics and bad, man, they gonna keep doing, terrible stuff. The politicians and everything like that. What you got to do is just get out, like the movie. Get out. Start your own stuff or do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. If you don't like the tax system, stop paying taxes. Now, some things that you can't change, right? But you get those end of the year things where you got to file for it or whatnot. I mean, it is what it is. You got your own business, and you want to sell what you want to sell. You want to sell food or whatnot, and they come trying to shut you down and close you down. Just know that you got to defend yourself. You got your home, you somewhere that you want to build or live free from society. You just know that they're coming. You got to defend yourself. Defend yourself. But just go on about your business and start your own, carve your own lane, start your own life. And then get your defenses up and move from there once you see the government. But you'll never win that fight, especially when you go out and you go rogue and start doing stuff like this. You'll never win that fight. That's for any group, right? It's just gonna make you look bad. So it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later.